Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Villages Newcomers. We're going to tell you about our week, about life here in the Villages. But first, we want to thank you guys that subscribe to us. It's such a big help when you hit that subscribe button. It generates an algorithm that promotes our video and makes it more popular. So thanks to all of you that push that little button.
And if you ring the bell, that'll give you notification of our upcoming video. And
Absolutely.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. We had a roller coaster of a week.
We sure did.
And I want to talk about that video on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I cannot believe this video.
That video's over 30,000 views. And it was about us going to McDonald's for some Happy Meals, adult Happy Meals. And it was quite a disappointment. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. But it was fun to make it, and it was disappointing, but it was all in fun. And
yes.
I'm saying no to the Happy Meals in the future.
We're going to talk a little bit about Jerry's eye injury.
And air conditioning. This is so important to us here in Florida. Could we live without it?
And home insurance can be a deal breaker for some.
Sinkhole fears from our viewers.
All that and more. Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
Jerry's voice is back, but now his eye.
I'll show you a picture. I woke up, I don't know, 5 or 6 days ago, and my eye was blood red. If you don't want to see it, cover your eyes. And I posted that on Facebook. You can see a lot of nonsense like that on our Facebook page. And so many people commented, and thank you, because a lot of people really know what they're talking about.
Yes.
And they told me that they've had that before, it's common, and it will go away on its own. Well, then you get that little psychosomatic thing coming in where your other eye feels like, oh man, this eye feels like it's bothering you. And you got a wife that's going, get that checked out, get that checked out. Mm-hmm. So I did. I went to the doctor, and he said exactly what you guys told me, that it was a burst blood vessel, and it would clear up on its own. Just keep the eye moisturized. And I've done that, and I feel fine. I never had any vision problems. I never had any pain. But thanks for your concern, and it's all back to normal.
Well, what concerned me at very first is he had a headache, and then he shows me his eye that morning when he got up. And I said, you had a headache, and now you have this? I was scared about stroke. I was nervous. I'm a nervous Nelly, and I will probably always will be a nervous Nelly. But he's great now.
I remember she also coupled that with my voice going out last week, and I'm still not perfect on the voice.
No.
I tried singing in the car a little bit yesterday. Now it's not working for me. And I had hung on that, what's it called? Inversion table upside down.
Yes.
And she thought that could have, and the eye doctor said that it can contribute.
Yeah,
But
pressure,
that wasn't
for sure.
it. I helped a lady move something really heavy, and he said that is very common to pick something up super heavy and
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he thought that was probably it. But of course, there's no way to know after the fact.
After the fact.
Sorry about that.
That'll be a,
I was kind of getting that camera angle just perfect.
that'll be a bump.
See how we're in the middle?
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Hey, wake up.
I'd rather him sleep
Okay, sleep. Sleep.
instead of whining.
This is the time where we want to recognize our viewers. There's a little button underneath our video. It's called Super Thanks. There's a little heart there, and you can thank us by pushing that. And some people did. And what it does is give us some money to purchase equipment. And boy, we've needed it over the past month.
And we have got new microphones.
Well, and a new camera.
Yes, we bought a
And
camera.
odds and a new charging station and some new cords.
Yeah.
And
so
thank you for that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
You ready for some questions?
We're ready for questions.
All right. We're doing questions first because
Yes.
you asked for it.
This is from Blake in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Florida seems to be a destination for so many people these days. I was there once and it was hotter than blazes. I'm just wondering what you would do if the air conditioning didn't work or you had an extended power outage. I definitely would want to go somewhere where they had air conditioning.
I'm out of here,
I don't
baby.
know
I'm
if-
out of here in the summer. July or August, if we lost it and we thought it was going to be off a week,
Yeah, we get in the car.
we'd be visiting the Suns somewhere. Yeah, we would.
Tennessee, South Carolina.
But on the other hand, when I was a kid,
Yes.
I never had air conditioning.
No.
My school didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah. You know, he grew up without air conditioning, and I did. My mother was asthmatic, and she had air conditioning, window units, and then I remember when they brought central air to the house, we thought, oh my gosh, we were in heaven. And it was kind of interesting when we got married that he, you know, when I put on the air conditioning, I liked it cold, and he sure didn't, because he wasn't used to it.
Well, I like it cold. I don't like it when we come in from playing golf or pickleball
Yeah.
or whatever, and you walk in the house and whoo, man, I mean, it's
Yeah.
freezing when you walk in.
Yeah.
But she is easing up on the 72 a little bit.
I have. You guys will be proud of me. I'm up to 74 now. Woo woo.
Yeah, so that's good. And you know, the air conditioning system is taken for granted because in Florida, it runs and runs. And they're expensive if they break down.
Yes.
So we, like so many people, have a service contract with an air conditioner company.
Yeah.
And a technician will come twice a year and he will look at the unit. He will make sure the drains are operating perfectly. He'll clean it.
Wow.
And I think that's a good investment for you. It costs about $89 for a service contract,
service?
and you can do it once a year or twice. If you do it twice a year, it's less. It'll be less, but it's a good move. We researched our companies. We had one company, we let them go, and we found a company that we really, really like, and
Yeah.
and we're making sure that that service, because like I said, if it went off, we're out of here.
Yeah.
We're gone. We're going somewhere till it's fixed. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you might want to think about it.
Well, especially people need it for medical reasons, for the CPAP machines, the oxygen, or whatever else they need. You're definitely going to need to want to go somewhere.
Yeah. Our second question is, have you seen that movie about the villages? There's a new movie that's come out. We were wondering what you thought about it. Well, actually, yes, we have seen it. And it's not really a new movie. It came out a couple of years ago, but I don't think, and this is just my thoughts, that it was popular at the time, and it's now been re-released, I believe, and it's getting some traction. And it's about the villages. And I'm not even going to tell you the name because I think it was very misleading. And we actually have a show planned where we're going to talk about that movie, and we're going to get viewer reactions from some villagers, and I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But it's just like so many movies. It's for the sensationalism.
Yeah.
They don't pick out ordinary people. You know, they pick out disgruntled people or people that are dysfunctional. And in this case, I thought the photography was well done and there were some good points, but we'll get into that in a future show. But yes, we've seen it. Don't care for it.
I'll let you know my feelings when we have the
That's
video.
right. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for my opinion.
Near the coast, you almost always get a breeze. How is it in Central Florida? Do you get breezes during the hot days to help you stay cool? Some days there's a lovely breeze.
Yeah.
And some days it feels nice outside. But in July, August, early September, parts of May,
Yeah.
it's stifling. And it gets better in the evening and it's better early in the morning.
But throughout the day.
But
it
I
is-
don't personally think there's much of a breeze here.
No, I don't.
Now, you can fly a kite. You know, you might have seen our kite flying video. That was a fail.
We could not fly a kite.
That was a fail. You have to just come on the right day if you want to breeze.
Yeah. This is from Frank and Judy in Erie, Pennsylvania. We read that a bunch of sinkholes opened up in the recent storm. I think some were in your general area. Are you afraid? I think the possibility of losing an expensive home will keep us from moving there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concern.
Yeah.
But sinkholes are like everything else. They get publicity because they're a disaster. There's something dangerous or destructive. So you get a lot of ink on it. I will say that here in the villages, there was a couple on El Diablo Golf Course last week, and they have to be repaired. I heard that the repairs are going to cost about $100,000. They didn't intrude on anyone's home, and we rarely hear about a home. There were 2017 or 18, there were a couple up in Spanish Springs, and the homes had to be vacated. But this is a big, big development, the Villages. You know, there are 60 or 70,000 homes, and 2 of them had to be vacated. But if you watched that McDonald's video, you saw us run over to just a hop, skip, and a jump from our house to where a manhole in the middle of the street had sunk down a couple of feet. And now the Villages is working hard to fix that. And it is going to actually displace 15 homes
Wow.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not because they're in danger, it's because they have to shut off the water and sewer.
Oh.
So
And a lot of workers will be going in and out.
yeah, it'll be a busy and it'll be a construction zone because they are fixing that leak under that manhole cover. And there was a picture in the Villages Daily News that showed the hole. It's not massive, but it is a good sized hole. The poor homeowners, but the Villages is stepping up.
Yeah.
They're going to put them up in the waterfront inn for 2 weeks.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
nice.
I think that's great, and
Yeah.
kudos to the Villages for doing that. So there are sinkholes. There are sinkholes everywhere. You heard us talk 6 months or a year ago about our farm in Indiana, and I'm mowing grass. Linda's down at the pond with the kids. They're fishing or farting around down there, and
Yeah.
that sinkhole collapsed, and my tractor flipped upside down and fell into the sinkhole.
Yes.
And I'm on it.
Yes.
And there's gasoline pouring down on me, and the bush hog is turning 2 big blades.
We will need to find that picture someday.
Scary. It was scary. But
very.
the point is, we had sinkholes in Indiana.
Yes.
That was a limestone topography
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And there were
many caves under
yeah,
that
we had
area.
caves on the thing, and
Yeah.
frequently I'd be riding around and my front wheel of the tractor would boom down into a hole, and I'd get off of it and look, and I'd say, "Ooh, that's a chimney." You know, you could see down. So they're not only in Florida. There are lots of places,
Yes.
and they can be terrifying, but you know, most of the time you're fine. Matt and Kristen write, "My wife and I love to eat smoked pork, chicken, and brisket. Who doesn't? I love to smoke my own, so my question is, can you have a smoker? I usually smoke pork for about 10 to 12 hours. Is this something the villagers would embrace or not?"
Only if I'm your neighbor.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Actually, we have really good friends, and a couple of them have that green egg,
Yes.
and they smoke things. And Ron over here,
Oh yeah, our friend Ron smokes.
Kansas City Ron, he's from
Yeah.
Kansas City. He loves to barbecue, and
Yes.
he is so nice that he told me yesterday, I'm gonna barbecue some ribs and have you all over. He is a great guy.
Absolutely.
And he does smoke things. So yeah, you can have a smoker. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's against the rules, but if you know, I don't know.
I never heard of that,
No,
though.
many people have it. I don't know what the actual rule is on it, but many people do have smokers.
Yes. This is from Myra Edwards in Lexington, Kentucky, our stomping grounds.
Yeah.
It seems to me that prices are too high in the Villages, Florida. We have lower prices in Kentucky, a lot lower. Why would any retiree on a fixed income want to move there? That's a concern for fixed income.
Yeah, well,
for
is
sure.
it?
Well,
Well, you have to live wherever you live. You have to live.
That's
You're going to
true.
have to buy milk. You're going to have to buy bread. You're going to have to buy eggs. You're going to have to put gas in your car.
if you drive,
Do you think those things are all much more expensive here than they were back there?
No.
They're not.
No.
They're not. So you have to do that. You're also going to have a place to live, whether you rent it or whether you buy it. You're going to have to buy a home. I will give you that the homes here are more expensive than they were in southern Indiana, which is right up next to Kentucky. But the taxes here are about the same. The day-to-day living is about the same. Some things here are actually cheaper, and you don't have any state income tax.
That's true.
So I think you're getting some misleading information. I personally don't think it's more expensive to live here after you get your home. For us, the home here, you know, quite a bit more expensive than the one we had in Indiana.
Was.
But everything else is pretty similar. Plus, we don't have the state income tax.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're curious about the expenses in the villages, we did a video a year ago or so.
It's probably 2 years.
Well, we've done it twice.
Yes,
we updated
we've done
it.
two of them.
We
That's
updated
true.
it.
That's true.
I'll put the link to that video, and it will tell you what we. And it's quite a popular video. What we spent on,
Yeah.
everything from gas to food to etc. Larry from Henderson, Nevada says, "I'm glad you guys were safe during the recent hurricane. My question is regarding home insurance. I've heard that insurance companies were pulling out of Florida way before the hurricane hit. I'm wondering if now more will be leaving the Florida market." Great question. I reached out to multiple insurance agents from major companies, and they all declined to answer on camera. Personally, I don't know why anybody that's in a business that could promote their business would hesitate to answer on camera. Because if you're telling the truth and you're answering a question, what's the problem? But they didn't want to appear. But yes, you're right. The insurance market has gone kind of crazy because of fraudulent claims, particularly here in Florida over the past few years. And there were, the last thing I heard were 7 or 8 companies had actually left Florida because they didn't want to be involved in it anymore. But you know what I think? I think insurance companies are really happy 12 months a year to collect your premiums. And then when it's time to pay out a claim,
They're not so happy.
they're not so happy. You don't make a profit if you're paying out the same amount of claims as you take in. And of course, that's a business. You've got to make a profit. But I think they want to make a large profit, and insurance is needed. We also heard from Nina, and Nina says, "I'm hearing from people who have friends and family in Florida who are saying that the home insurance rates are expected to increase dramatically. Can you please address this subject matter during your show?" Nina, ours increased about 25% this year. Here's a copy of our actual bill. This is due, I think, November 30th, and it will pay us up through the next year, and that is the insurance on our home here in the Villages. So you can see what we're paying. Our son, who lives in Florida, his insurance premium, and he shopped around, and I helped him shop around, he pays $275 a month for homeowners insurance.
Wow.
That's over $3,000 a year just for homeowners insurance.
Wow.
So they're going up, but we do have hurricanes. We do have heavy rains. We do have some flooding on occasion. Not here necessarily, but in Florida. And all those losses affect the companies, and they do raise rates. On the same topic, Dave and Mary from Rhode Island said, "We're having second thoughts about moving because of the sinkhole situation and the increase of home and flood insurance. Also, I hear that the insurance companies are giving people a hard time and telling them to get a new roof if it's less than 10 years old." I think that's worded wrong. I think you probably meant if it's more than 10 years old. I asked our insurance person that question, and they said our insurance company, which is Progressive, this is what I was told. Remember, don't take us 100%.
Yeah.
We're just telling us what we think, and you find out for yourself if it's important on any issue. But we were told that we were possibly going to face non-renewal after 15 years on our home, which our home is right now 6.5, 7 years old,
Yeah.
because of the roof. And when those roofs are put on, they've got a 30-year shingle, so you're right. I mean, it's a situation. We have heard that some companies have the 12-year rule. But I did talk to an agent, and off the record, he told me that he has been able to renew everybody's insurance in some way or another.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be the case for all of us.
This question is from Mark and Lori. Since you started the channel for your kids' benefit, do they still watch, and what do they think of your newfound fame?
They like it. We have 3 sons. They like it. Our grandchildren are gaga about it. I mean, they want to be YouTubers when they grow up now.
Yeah.
But they do like it. And our sons show people, and they're excited about it.
Yeah. Well, I think they still watch. I know our oldest son watches quite a bit. He likes to give us some ideas too, which is wonderful. Our middle son, he's very busy and he does watch, but he is not as involved with it as our oldest son. And our younger son,
Too busy.
he's very busy.
Right now he's in Japan.
He's
and
all over the world.
I think 2 weeks ago he was in
We never know where he is.
Jordan, and he's in
Alaska.
Morocco, Alaska. Yeah, he's all over.
Japan, Philippines. He's been everywhere. He's Air Force, so he's super busy. But anyway,
They're all supportive. They're supportive and they enjoy it. And
yes.
we have fun with it. Sometimes they don't want us to mention them as much as we do, but we're so proud of them, and we like to do that. So yeah, we're getting good support. So if you told people back home that Jerry and Linda were celebrities, they would say, "What are you talking about?"
We're not celebrities, are we? Okay.
John Bell writes, my second question, so many followers on YouTube, do you feel that you've reached celebrity status? And maybe he has.
Oh,
He's the
yeah,
celebrity in the
he is.
family right here. In fact, she's going to show you he got a heck of a gift in the mail yesterday. And we'll talk about that in
yes.
just a minute. And does it bother you when people come up to say hello or take a picture with you? Doesn't bother us at all.
No, not at all.
We're happy to do it. We went down to Brownwood to watch music the other night, and probably 20 people came up.
We enjoy meeting people. We
It's fun.
really like to hear your story and how you got here, because we all have a story and it's fun. We enjoy it.
Well, that's our thing, you know. The big reason, probably the biggest reason that we do this is to help people.
Yeah.
And people come up to us and tell us that we have been a help, or we've been we've affected them in some positive way, and that's great. Yesterday, I went to a local barbecue place, and my buddy Mike, Mike, he's a celebrity for sure. We went in and ordered barbecue, and the lady behind the counter said, "You're Jerry." She said, "I want you to know that I watch your show, and my mom and I would watch your show every single time it came out." And she said that you were a source of joy to her, and she just passed away.
Aw.
And that was Tracy. And Tracy, I really appreciated you telling me that story, and that's the kind of thing that makes us, it kind of gives us a little energy when we don't quite have energy to put out a show or do some extra work, but we appreciate every one of you.
We sure do. And this is our last question.
Oh. But we still have shout outs to come. Remember, we're doing those at the end.
This is from Patsy. Why did you leave Indiana for the good life? We visited the villages several years ago and soon realized it was not for us. Well, you quoted the good life, and it is the good life.
We would come to Florida
yeah.
and vacation, and it's good, and you love it. I mean, when you come on vacation, you don't have a worry in the world. You're down here on vacation, you don't think about work, you don't think about your bills.
Right.
You're just coming and having fun. When we're back in Indiana, we go through winters, it's cold. We go through falls, which are pretty, but where we lived, it left us with truckloads of leaves.
We lived in the woods. We had leaves up to our knees.
We had a lot of home maintenance. We had the farm to work on. So we made a decision that we would pack up and go somewhere before we got too old to pack up and go somewhere.
Yeah.
And the thing we've found out since we've been here, it's going to sound corny, but a lot of people don't know what they're missing.
It's true.
We know people up in Indiana that say, "Oh, I love the mountains. I just love the mountains so much," or "I love the lake," or but they don't do anything. They just live where they live, and they're not working. They're retired. Go do what you want to do when you're retired.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the lake and have a boat, go find a lake and get a boat. If you love the mountains, get yourself a chalet and
Yeah. Rent it for a month.
yeah,
Or live.
just do whatever you want to do. That's what we did. We just decided, hey, we're going to have fun while we're healthy. We know too many stories of people that retired and
Yeah. And if we hated it and didn't love it, we could move. We could do it, but we don't feel like moving. This is our vacation. We feel like we're on vacation.
yeah, that's the thing. When you do anything, when we came down here, if we lived here a year and we were miserable, we'd go find someplace else. And we still could. We still could leave here and go somewhere if we wanted to eventually. But right now, we're enjoying the heck out of it. And we're still active and we're healthy.
Yeah.
There may come a time when we can't get around as good, or we don't feel as good, or we need to be around our children more.
And I get it where those people want to be around their grandchildren real close. I mean, ours were in that situation where we weren't close. So it was easier for us to do this kind of a move, for sure. But
We talk to very, very, very few people that say they regret moving here.
yes, yeah, very few. It's time for shout outs.
Carolyn and Ed are coming to the Villages for the first time. They're going to be doing a lifestyle visit in early November, and they're excited. They've already signed up for a bunch of things, and they're going to go to a show and a polo match. They're from Chicago.
They're going to have fun. Well, this is Holly and Al, and I bumped into them in the parking lot last week, and I think they've only been here for 1 week, moved into Collier, and Al is a commercial airline pilot.
Wow. Matt and Kristen, they're from Hagerstown, Maryland. Their parents live here in the Villages, in the village of Bel Air. And they're eating dinner in this picture at the Belglade Country Club, one of our favorites.
Very nice. We love that place. Well, this is Trish and Joe, and they're from Louisville, Kentucky. And we met them at the Brownwood Square. They took a lifestyle visit in June and purchased a new patio villa in DeLuna.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect example of the kind of people that we meet when we go out. These are great folks, and we're
Yes.
glad you're neighbors. Michael and Laura Pendleton, we've known them for over a year.
We have.
In fact, I think we went to eat with them at Lopez Legacy,
Okay.
and that's one of our favorite places to eat, especially on prime rib night. But they just finally closed on a home in DeLuna.
Congratulations.
Mark and Lori, they're from Matthews, North Carolina. He says Mondays and Thursdays in their home are known as Newcomers Day.
Yay.
In this picture, they're at the top of that pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. We went there.
We did.
It's an amazing place.
That's a nice
That's
store.
a Bass Pro Shop. It's right on the river there. And Mark says that he and I are brothers from another mother.
That's right. Well, this is Rich and Karen, and they've been renting a home in Citrus Grove for several months. They're from Portland, Oregon, and have decided to build a new home, not in the Villages. They're going to build a new home 35 miles north of here.
And on top of the world.
Well, congratulations to you.
We know some folks that live up there. Eileen bumped into Linda recently. She and her husband David just moved into their new home in DeLuna, and they say that leaving their home back in Massachusetts was not easy.
No.
But they're really looking forward to their new adventure.
Yeah.
Now, Eileen says that when we did this show recently where I told you guys to get those 58-cent burritos at Walmart, the hot ones, she did. And
Yeah.
she said she didn't like them.
She didn't like them.
Come on, Eileen.
That's all right. You know
What you do, you get you an onion and you dice that onion up. You get you a tomato and you dice that tomato up, and you get you some lettuce, cut it up real fine. You bake that burrito in the oven. Don't microwave it. I think it's 30 minutes. When you get it out, you cut it into little sections, sprinkle all that little salad over the top of it, get you some hot taco sauce and dump on there. And by the way, you have 3 of those burritos in that little pile on your plate there.
He goes 3.
3.
I'll do
And you
2.
sprinkle on it and put the hot sauce.
Yeah, and then I would add sour cream to mine. to
You
make
back
mine.
off and you go.
Yeah, I'll do the sour cream, and I'll put cheese all over it too. But you know what? I like to put all that stuff on there also. But yeah, he does the oven. I've tried the microwave and then also frying them after they've microwaved. So it gives them a little crunch on the outside, kind of like a
She does
chimichanga.
to a lot of things what you guys have recommended. Like French fries that are a day old, she refries them in the
Yeah,
skillet, lets
sure.
them soak up that grease and
More grease.
get a little crispy. And she does that to burritos and tacos
Sure,
and
why not pizza?
you know,
I do
pizza, yes, she'll
always do pizza.
refried pizza.
I like crispy bottom pizza.
By the way, I had the best pizza that I've had in the Villages the other day.
Yes, you did.
Absolutely the best, hands down, no doubt about it. Prima restaurant.
Prima.
I got the all meat pizza.
And you
She
loved
ordered
it.
something else. I had to order a whole pizza for myself. I brought it home for lunch the
Yeah,
next day. It was
yeah.
delicious. I even ate it cold the next day. It was so good.
I am not a cold pizza eater. No, no, no. Well, this next picture is Dawn and Omung. They recently celebrated their 21st anniversary in the Villages, and they're having dinner here, this time at Lopez Legacy. And here they are with their son, Arjun, and mother, Pinky. And sorry if I messed up your names.
Nope, you did really good.
I did good?
You
Okay,
did really good.
We'd like to give a shout out to Mike and Sharon DeBose, our friends from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They gave Gizmo these wonderful, wonderful stairs. We're practicing.
You're not sure what to think of those just yet, are you? We've already used bologna and dog treats and everything, but he has gone up them a few times and we're going to keep working with him. But
Yeah.
what a kind and thoughtful gift.
Very nice.
The poor guy, he's 78 in human years and he's just not jumping like he used
He's
to. And he's
not
not
coming
supposed to anyway.
No. But we'll keep working on it. But
Yeah.
thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
thinking of him. I'd like to also give a shout out to Mike Kesterk. This is a book that he has written. I have not read it yet. I'm anxiously getting ready to. You Can Do It, Rocket. So I'm sure Gizmo's going to listen to this with me. Thank you, Mike.
Very nice. We probably mispronounced that name, but
Yeah.
if you guys ever do correspond with us and you have a name that's a little bit unusual, let us know how to pronounce it.
Phonetically, yes. Thank you so much.
And look at these. These are the prizes from that Happy Meal from the last show, the Unhappy Meal. What in the world is that? So I'm going to give a shout out to McDonald's for these awesome toys. Look at that.
4 eyes, 4 goggles. Interesting.
I think it's called the Early Bird. It's time for Viewers of the Week. This week, we're giving the honor to Natalie Smithhart. She's from Arkansas, and she is just the sweetest viewer. She writes us a nice comment every time, and we look forward to reading those, don't we?
Absolutely, and we've had cards from her for the last I think maybe 3 years we've had cards from her.
That's her with her pups,
Yeah.
Fudge and Howie. Now, Natalie thinks that Arkansas is underrepresented in the villages, so she's going to bring her husband, Todd, and they're going to get down here in a few years and change that.
Here you go.
Congratulations, Natalie.
It's time for Gizmo.
Shirley Johnson sent a letter, and she said she was wondering about Gizmo's grooming. Do you bathe him? Well, since you're talking about me, I thought I would answer this question. Yes, Mom does bathe me. She puts me in the laundry sink every time I come in, and she washes my feet. She even wipes my bottom, but don't tell anybody. And you want to know if I have a routine like a walk in the morning? Yep, that's when I go out and do my business. Mom takes me all the way around the block, and she says it's good exercise for her too. You ask if I have a special diet. Well, I don't get table scraps like I want to. I really like table scraps. Sometimes I get them off the floor, but usually I just eat my Rachel Ray dog food, and Mom has some new wet food that she slides in there for me, and it's good. And you ask if I ever bark if another doggy is walking around. Abso-positively I bark when other dogs are around. That's my job. Thanks for the question, Shirley. You know, there's a lot of alligators here. They say every single body of water could have an alligator in it. So I said, hey, why don't we make alligator for dinner? We got so many of them. But then we realized we only have a crock pot. Crock pot.
Well, you kind of told your whole story there, didn't you, of your routine? That was really good and funny as always. Good job, pal. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure to tune in for Thursday's show.
It's going to be a good one.
I think it is. We have hooked up, and I hope to have this show ready for Thursday. If not, you get something different. But we are interviewing Randy Mask. Randy is the Sumter County tax collector.
Woohoo!
And he can answer a lot of questions and tell us a lot of the procedures and ways to make your transition to the villages easier. So you'll want to be sure and catch that show on Thursday. Please keep those questions coming. We love them. We need them. And your photos in landscape format, please send those in. And
if you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and ring that little bell. Until next time.
see you when you get here.